This is going to be a very quick one for us to understand. A very quick one, no time to waste, okay? So if you're just joining, you are welcome. I'm happy to have you here. And I'm happy. Okay. So like I said, if you're coming, I want to make something really quick. Like I promised myself that I want to be coming live to show you every little steps of something that we make every single day, so we should just make every single day something that we are going to be making every single day. So let's go. Let's go. Hi everybody, how are you? I can see people in here. I'm happy to have you here. Let's get more people in the building so we can go ahead and start. I know. So now I want to be able to create something every little something every day. Drop something on this page so we'll be able to kind of this tablet has started again. It doesn't want to. So I will not be able to read comment. That's what I was saying today, Tablet. Let's see. Tablet has started again, so I'll not be able to read comment. The thing has just been going off and on. So, por favor, you can. Let's see. Here, Ogini. Don't mind me again. I'm trying to. Okay, that's where it's going. It's okay. I will not be able to read comment today, but it's the way I started the wahala again. So let's not rush. We just get on that tablet. Hey, yeah. So like I said, I was trying to. Okay, I'm even connected here, so there's no wahala. No wahala. No, absolutely wahala. Okay, so we're going to be making a bootcut. Today, this tutorial is going to be very quick and easy. Very, very quick and easy to follow. So I've just prepared up my patterns that I'm going to be needing for this. If you're watching from Facebook, you're very welcome. YouTube, you are welcome. So there are two ways I know how to go about this pants, okay, which I'm going to be demonstrating to you. Welcome everybody, welcome. Let me welcome you guys. Welcome. You can leave me your comment below if there's nothing you're not understanding. So again, first of all, I'm gonna draw a straight point, a straight line, because I noticed that this is not straight. I'm gonna just draw a straight line. Oh, wahala. It's not really straight, so let me do at least this up. 4. Why here? 4 later. 4. Let's 4. Let's do 4. I don't know. Not that one I no one receive. How much? I bought a machine that was is it 400? I can't remember. 400, no. Yeah. 400 and something euros, eh? Is it 400? I think I even bought it when it was on discounts, eh? It was on sale, so if it is not 400, it should be 320, something like that was on sale, so you can just wait for it to come. You know, there are different functions of the machine. I bought mine on Amazon. I always buy my sewing machine on Amazon. So I've just put on my, I've just make my pattern is straight, but not straight. Yeah, you can see here is 10, 5. Yeah, he's 11 as I said it that it was not straight. Anyway, we're gonna focus on this top part. Hello, beautiful people in the building. Okay, so now this is my pattern. This is my pattern. When you're making up these pants, first of all, what we always do is to draw a straight point. I have a straight line here, which is going to be the waistline. And I'm going to measure from the waist to the hip depth. Waist to hip depth I'll be working with. This is a short, small. I don't want it to make it too long, okay? So waist to hip depth I'm working with is 7.5 inch. It's normally between 8 and 10 inch, depending on how tall the person is. I'm making this on a smaller version. So I'm going to measure now. Now, let me use my normal measurement. This is my waist to my hip depth. Now, I'm going to measure from the waist to the crotch depth. To get the crotch depth is by dividing round hip by 4. Whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and add 1 inch to it. So my round hip is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. If I add 1 inch to it, I'll be left with 10.5. Right there. Now I'm going to go ahead now. I will measure up where the knee line is. As you can see, I have not moved my hand from here. So I'm going to go ahead to measure up the knee line. But before we go ahead to mark up the knee line, we want to go ahead to mark up the lap line. Lap line is normally that line after, okay, that line after your crotch depth or below your crotch depth, okay, that's where you get the lap line. So my lap line normally is 3 inch. You can go down 2.5 inch or 3 inch to get the lap line. So I will be marking 3 inch to get up my lap line. So this is 10.5, 1 inch, 2 inch and 3 inch. Like I said, you can do 2 inch. So now from there, I'm going to measure from the waist to the knee line, the knee line of these pants. Like I said, I'm doing this on a smaller version, so you can go ahead and follow up these steps on a bigger pattern. So I am going to go ahead now and connect those points up with straight line. Let me get this tiny ruler because that big one sometimes it can. It's kind of heavy to pick up very fast. So I'm just connecting those points up with straight lines. I'm doing the same thing here. Right here with straight lines. If you're watching from YouTube, I'm happy to have you here. And I'm also connecting this point up with this is my lap line. This is the crotch depth line. My bow marker is it's not coming out, so ooh, this one is even worse. Oh, this is not the one I pick. Okay, so here I have the waistline. This one is even worse. Let me just put it aside because to have something inside. Oh my god. So is that tiny one. I don't really like using that tiny one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This one too is still that tiny one. Isn't like we're going to use that tiny one. It seems like that's what I have here. I had one bow marker yesterday. Where is it? This one too is still that tiny one. I don't like it. This is This one is it's coming out, but it has gone in. Let's see this one. Okay, now here, assuming that this is our waistline, here we have the hip depth line, right? Here I have the crash line. Here I have the lap line. Here the knee line, and definitely here is the line of the pants. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead now to put 1/4 of my measurement, 1/4 of each measurement, each of my measurement. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come on the waist. I will take round waist, divide it by 4. Round waist, divide it by 4. Okay, let's just do this. Round waist, check this one. Like I said, I'm working on a smaller version, so I don't really need to round waist. I'm going to take round waist divided by 4. I'm going to mark that up, which is right this. I'm going to mark this up. Round waist divided by 4. Then I'm also going to come here. No, let's use the hip depth. The hip divided by 4. Okay, so I'll be using the hip instead of the round waist because we still need to do some adjustment here. Okay, so I'm going to take round hip, divide it by 4. Okay, assuming that my round hip was 9. It's 2. Let me do 8.5. So assuming that my round no, but I use the crush depth of my normal measurement. So guys, let's do something. I'm thinking, okay, so assuming that my round hip is 38. So I'm going to use this up so that I will not confuse you, because I had already, let me see if I'm going to get the round hip here. No. So assuming that my round hip is 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inch. Then I'll go ahead and add 1 inch to it. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead and connect that point up with the straight line and manage. I just want to make this as small as possible so you people will be able to see what I'm working on. Okay, now this part here, we're going to come here to get a crush. To get a crush is simply the crush extension. Simply we'll go ahead and, so how come this is big here? I'm going to come here. This is it. Sorry guys, this pattern is not giving me the headache. Like that. So sorry, don't mind me. Is by taking, now to get a crush extension, normally we get it here. I'm going to take 1/4 of the hip. Remember, 1/4 of the hip was 8 inch. Divide it by 4. Okay, what some people do is they take round hip, divide it by 20. If you divide it by 20, you're still going to get the same measurement like round hip divided by 4. And then you take whatever you have and divide it by 4. Like, for example, if my round hip is 20, let's just assume it's 27, right? Okay, divide it by 4 is going to give me 7 inch. Then I'll take that 7 inch, I have to divide it by 4. Whatever I have from the answer is what I'm going to extend here for the cross extension. Okay, I hope this part is clear. Okay, so round hip is whatever we have here. This is what we're going to be using, 8 inch. Divide it by 2, which is going to give you 4. Divide it again by 2, which is going to give us 2 inch. Now I'm going to follow up this line. Let me dot it up all the way. Even this bold marker is not even coming out there. So from that point, why not use your ruler, Anita? Like this. From this point, I'm going to go ahead and extend this 2-inch right there, like this. I'm going to show these things because I have to use this tiny one, even though I don't like it, but I'm going to use it. So I'm going to come here like this and mark this 2-inch. You see the way the thing is tiny, right? That 2-inch. I've just marked that 2-inch. Now what we're going to do is to go ahead now and connect it up like this. Oh my goodness. I hate when I want to do something. I used to have one big one. Kind of. I'm trying to. I don't just like using that tiny one because if I use it, you guys are not going to see what I'm working on. So it's kind of okay. Let's use this one. Now this one will be too big. So, and if I use a pencil, you'll not see what I'm working on. Okay. So, this is the 2-inch. This is 1/4. 1/4 of hip divided by 4 to get a crotch extension. We mark it up here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and connect these points up like this. When you're connecting it up, make sure that it is not too deep or it's not looking funny. What you can do is to come here like this and go out here by 1 inch, okay, to make sure that you're going to get that perfect curve. Right, 1 inch from this angle. You can see the way I'm placing it up, right? From here, 1 inch here. Now I'm going to connect these points up like this, passing through that 1 inch, making sure nothing is being looking too curvy right there. I am avoiding it from being too curvy. As you can see, I've just passed through that 1 inch that I went up here. Now what we're going to do is to come here like this. I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. You can go in up to 1 inch, okay? Go in by 1/2 inch. I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch. In by 1/2 inch. You can go down by 1 inch. Okay, I went in by 1/2 inch. I went down by 1/2 inch. So now what I'm going to do is from that 1/2 inch that I went in, I'm going to just connect these points up like that all the way to that point. You see, I stopped where I went down by 1/2 inch. Then now that 1/2 inch that I went down, I'm going to just connect it all the way to the side right there. You see what I've just done, right? You see what I've done there, right? Now, before you were to go ahead and connect this part up from the side, remember that here we did use 1/4 of the hip, right? Now this is where you're supposed to go ahead and put 1/4 of your waist measurement. So assuming that my round waist is 28. The 1/4 of the hip was actually 8 inch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put 1/4 of the hip, or let's just assume that 1/4 of my hip is 6.5 inch. I'm just going to come here and mark that 6.5 inch. Now, what I'm going to do is to go ahead from this point. I'm going to go ahead now and connect this part up like this. Look at how I'm going to do. This is my hip depth line. I'm going to bring it carefully not to stain my tape, okay? Because this other bow marker does not really come out. So I'm just going to quickly connect this up like this. Now, what I'm going to do from this point is to go ahead now. I will put my lap measurement. But before we go ahead and do so, if you want to use a dart, if you're using a stretchy fabric, there's no need. So simply go ahead now and put the nipple to nipple. Normally what we do is to put the nipple to nipple. So from what I'm going to do, my nipple to nipple is, I'm going to come here and mark. My nipple to nipple is 7 divided by 2. I'm going to go ahead and slant down like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect it straight line. Then I'm going to go ahead now. Normally, we always go up from the hip depth line by 2 inch, okay? Or you can come here like this, go down by 5 inch for the front. Go out by 1/2 inch both sides, 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. Then I'm going to connect it all the way to that 5 inch. Remember, this is the front we're working on, not the back. Connect it up like that, and I'm also going to do the same thing here like this. Now, once we're done doing so, you can either get this line straight downward. Okay. Now, let me go ahead now. I am going to put the lap measurement. Lap measurement. Normally, what we're supposed to do is to connect this line all the way straight downward. Okay. All the way straight downward. So I'm going to put the lap measurement. Okay, round lap divided by 2. Of course, round lap divided by 2. So I'm just going to go ahead now and mark my round lap divided by 2. This is what I have right there. Round lap divided by 2. I'm going to come here like this and mark that point up. Connect it up like this. Making sure I place it up like this, so it's going to be easier for you. You see what I've just done, right? And now we need to do it up with a straight line, but we cannot just go ahead and do it up with a straight line. We need to get the center line, meaning that this point up here is going to be connected all straight downward. Normally, what some people do is go ahead and measure up this point here from this point, but I've realized that each time that I measure from here to here, my that end up is not going to be that nipple to nipple. Okay, it's kind of at the side, not at the center where I want it to be. So I always put the nipple to nipple. All right, always put the nipple to nipple, nipple to nipple, nipple to nipple, to avoid any wahala. I always do so. Okay, so I've just connected that line straight. Now for us to get the knee line is we're going to take round knee, divide it by 4, okay, because actually it's 1/4 of the measurement we are working on. Okay, 1/4 of the measurement we are working on. All right, so I'm simply going to go ahead, take round knee, divide it by 4, assuming that my round knee is actually what, 12 inch. Assuming that was 12 inch, divide it by 2. 12 divided by 2. Maybe it's going to be too big. Going to give me 6. Okay. Divided by, again by 2. You want to make sure that you come here like this. So you're going to, no. 12 divided by 4. Anita, you decrease. So, assuming that my round knee was 12 inch, I will divide it by 2. Yeah, of course, Anita is okay. Like this. Divided by 2. Then divide it again by 2. This is what we have. I'm going to go ahead from this center line. You're going to mark 3 inch here and 3 inch here. Okay, 3 inch here. You see what I've just done, right? Pull this up. Come here. Assuming that we're going to put the ankle measurement. Assuming that my ankle measurement was actually 9 inch. Okay, so I'm going to divide it by 2. I divide it again by 2. Automatically, we are dividing it up by 4. So I'm going to come here like this and mark from here to here and from here. Where is that to here? Now, this is what we're going to do. I'll connect this point up from here to here, making sure that nothing is looking funny right there. Oh, like this. Ooh, it's kind of very tiny, I know, but this is the basic pattern. Then we're going to connect these points up. This is the lap line. Now, this is what we're going to do. I'm just simply going to go ahead and connect this from here to this part. Look, I am placing it up. Okay. Okay, you see what we just have here. And if you check here, it's kind of looking funny. I hate it when it's looking funny. Just go ahead and blend that up to avoid any kind of funny edges around there. Now, this is the front piece. front we will cut times 2. Go ahead now. I'm gonna cut this up. We're gonna be using this up to cut up the back. Now come here. Okay. I'm gonna come here also. Today I'm doing late night live stream. I know, but it is what it is. At least I'm able to drop something for you people. What's the time even? Okay, here we have our basic pattern. From this basic pattern, now you can take this and do whatever you want to do with this basic pattern. I think I need to get bow marker. You need to get, see, whatever we want to do with this bow marker, with this basic pattern. So first of all, before I go ahead and do anything, we need to get the front. I'm simply going to go ahead and place this on it. Okay. So, making sure I have some inches to the front. The length is the same. I have 1 inch. Why is it that the other paper was longer than this one? I'm going to just pin my cheek so you can have some pieces. Okay, I'm going to pin this up. Pin that up. I'll quickly get a paper. I'm going to attach it because we need to the back needs to be a little bit, the pattern needs to be longer. So I'm just going to come here and quickly go ahead and attach this part up like this. It's a paper gum. Okay. Okay, now I can go ahead now. Your back needs to be a little bit, not longer, but this top part here, we normally extend it up. So I'm going to go ahead now and just pull this up a little bit. The length is supposed to be the same, huh? Just that the brush, the hip line, we normally, the inner seam, let me put it this way, this line that goes inside like this, okay, that one that join between the back. I hope I'm explaining myself. Okay, so I've just pinned that point up. I'm gonna pin this other one up. Okay, why I pin this other one up. Now what we're simply going to do is to come here. So you can see I've left about, let's just say I left about 1 inch here, and I make sure that I have at least 2 inch because the crotch of the back is normally longer than the front. So assuming, hi, hello, how are you? So assuming that oh my, I'm reading comment at the same time. So assuming that the back, whatever we have from this point to this point, what we extended from the back, from the front, we are supposed to do it twice. Okay, for example, what some people do is, so we divided 1/4 of the hip, we had 2 inch. So I'm going to come here like this. For the back, I will extend it again by 1 inch. You can do 2 inch. I've extended it up by 1 inch. You see, 1 inch. Now, from that 1 inch, what we normally do is to come down here like this by half inch. Some people come down by half inch, but some they don't really do it. You can come down by half inch. I also like to come down by half inch. Yeah? Half inch. Half inch. So now, this is the half inch. Assuming that this is the line we draw before. This is our straight line. Okay, this is the straight line. And now come down here by half inch. You're going to see what I'm going to do now. After coming down by half an inch, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend it up here by 1.5 inch. And then at this part, I will do 1.5 inch. At the length, I'm going to do 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. 1 inch. The length is going to be the same. Okay. Now at the side here, I will add just half inch here at the knee line. At the length, I'm going to also add half inch. Then here, I will do half inch. Then here, I'm going to do half inch. Then we're going to come up now. At this point, let me try to pull this machine so you'll be able to see, okay? So now at this point, what we are going to do is, remember we did come down by half an inch, but for the back, we don't come down, we instead go up. In some cases, depending on how full or depending on how booty you are behind, okay? In some cases, you can go up by 2 inch, you can go up by 2.5 inch, like I said, depending on how fuller you are behind. So for me, I'm a smaller size, and go up by 1.5 inch is okay for me. All right, 1.5 inch. Now what we're going to do from that 1.5 inch, I'm going to come here from this part. I will also go in. Let me just go in by 1 inch here. 1 inch. I hope this is understandable. Of course it is. So I'm just measuring up that 1 inch right there. So from here, I'm going to go up by this 1.5 inch. I went in from here, from this part, I went in by 1 inch. Meaning that this line, I'm going to connect it all the way. Where is 1 inch that went in? Here, I went in by 1 inch, all the way to that 1.5 inch. We went up. You see, right? You see what I've just done here, right? Now, this 1 inch that we went in, we're supposed to replace it back here at the side. Don't forget. I'm going to come here like this. I will replace back that 1 inch that I went in. All right. Is it clear? I told you guys, if you're not following me, you'll be missing a lot. So I'm just going to connect this point all the way to that 1 inch to make sure that I get a straight line like this. Now, what we're going to do is to come here like this. I'm going to connect this part up like this. Look at how I placed up my ruler. I'm going to do it. I want to shift. I have there. I don't want to break my lower side. I'm trying to shift this up. Or let me shift this up so I can pull. I can pull the. Okay, I think I can pull it a little bit down so you can really see what I'm referring to. So we went up by 1.5 inch. We went up here by 1.5 inch, which is right there. I'm making sure I have that 1.5 inch, which is right there. We went in by 1 inch, up by 1.5 inch, in by 1 inch. This 1 inch we went in, I'm going to replace it back here. So I will come here like this. I will mark that 1 inch. Now, I've marked this 1 inch, which is right there. I've also drawn a straight line to get a straight line from this point because we want the side to be able to match up. That's why we draw this straight line. Now, what I'm going to do is to go ahead now. I will connect it up like this all the way to this point. You see what I've just done right there? You see what I've done, right? Now, let's go ahead. That's why I had to add this half inch here. You can do 1 inch, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and connect this part up like this all the way to this point, like so. You see the magic? Use your hand to do something good for yourself. So this part up, we're gonna go ahead and connect this part up all the way to here. Then let me put this scissors inside because I can by mistakenly use it to cut paper with it. So I'm just gonna come here and then, like I said, the length is gonna be the same. The length is same. Nothing is gonna change. The length is as the same as the front. You see what I've just done, right? Now here I did 1 inch, right? Yeah, the hem I did 1 inch here. 1 inch, which is right there. Here I did 1.5 inch. If I'm not mistaken, from the nail line, I think, yeah. So you see where I'm connecting it to? I'm gonna bring this part up to make up that hip depth line. If there's anything looking funny, then this part gonna be straight. Okay, so this is the 1/2 inch we went down. Now what I'm going to do is we have to connect this part up like this, like so. What I always try to do is just to mark this point up, this center point right there. This point I always mark it up like this. Then bring this up. Now you can either from this part up, so we want to kind of avoid it from being looking funny. Now it is really looking funny. What I always try to do is sometimes from this point that I mark, I always come out, but if you can, from this point that I mark, remember, like this, place it up like this, 1 inch. You can come out by 1 inch. You can do even 3/4 inch. You can do 1/2 inch. So now, look at how I'm going to place this up from here to here, from here all the way like this. Oh, sorry, from here to here. You want to make sure that nothing is looking funny right there. Take your time. I always like to use this one. Now place this up. It's not supposed to be too deep. See the way I'm trying my best, right? Not supposed to be too deep. It's not supposed to be too deep. What I have there. So I'm just going to go ahead. Like I said, it's not supposed to be too deep, because if it is deep, it's going to look funny. Alright, you see the second line is perfect. Okay, this one was deep. This line here is perfect. So we have the back. Now look at this pattern. I'm gonna put my nipple to nipple, which is 3.5. I'm gonna go down. Remember, for the front we went down by 5 inch, but for the back we're gonna do 6 inch. All right, we do 6 inch because we lift up the back. So I'm gonna connect straight line up. Then I'm gonna do 1/2 inch both sides, 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here both sides. I'm gonna connect it up to this point. I'm gonna also do the same thing here. Now it's time for me to cut up the back. times 2. Now you're gonna go ahead the back and the front. If you have watched this live stream, you should be able to make up your basic pattern right now without any wahala. Remove this side. If you're not following me, kindly follow me up on Facebook, Anita Handmade Fashion, YouTube, Anita Handmade Fashion, TikTok, Anita Handmade Fashion, and Pinterest too. I think Pinterest is Anita Fun. Is still my own name. Follow me up. Let's be everywhere. Okay. Like here. Okay. We have the back. I'm going to simply go ahead and place up the front on it, making sure the side seams matches up. Alright, okay, the side seams should match up. I want to just get just the nail line. That's what I'm interested in getting, the nail line, because that's what we're going to be working more on. Draw a straight line. This is our nail line. Taking more time, making sure. Okay, so we have the nail line. Now here there are 2 ways you can do this span. You can either just go ahead and draw a center line. Let's just say I measure up whatever I have here and divide it by 2. Remember, divide it by 2, which is 8 point. Okay, so I'm going to measure up whatever I have here and divide it by 2, which I'm going to get is 8.025. Yeah, I'm going to come here and 8.025, which is the center is here. So I'll draw a straight line. That's the center line. Center line. Okay, now we have the center line, both the front and the back. Like I said, there are 2 ways you can make this. What some people do is they just go ahead and cut this up, draw lines, and then they spray it up. The more you spray, the more you get. The more fuller it is at the down part. So I'm going to do the easiest method like this, by pressing it up like this. When I get here, I'll come from here and cut it up like this, making sure that when I get to the end, I don't cut everything up. I will leave at least something to be able to hold up the pattern like that. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. Just place it up like that and bring it up like this. Can you see the magic? Can you really see the magic? You have magic in your hands. Practicing, you practice everything. Can you see the magic? Okay, let me go ahead and open this too. I'm gonna come here. This is what I did. Open it up like this. Then I'm gonna come here, cut it to the side, seam to the side, making sure I'm not cutting everything up, but I'm also leaving something so I'll be able to hold up and cut it right there. Okay. Okay, we move this aside for now. Oh, I don't want this part to curl. We move this aside for now. If you love what you're seeing, don't forget to like, follow me. I need some notification. My table is white, so I cannot use anything white. If I use white, you're not going to see. So this is what I'm going to be using. Grab up another paper of your choice. Grab up a paper. This is what we're going to be using. Okay, I'm gonna make like this. Now, first one, let me see what we get here. Okay, what we are interested in spraying out is this downer part, okay, not any other thing. So what we are interested, like I said, what we are really interested in spraying out is the downer part. Here comes my hem, this. So I'm gonna just come here. Okay, it's almost finished. Then I need to get another one. Okay, now I've taken the front piece, right? I say what we're interested in spraying out is just the knee, from knee line downward. The rest we don't want to touch anything. So this is what I've just had. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this up like this, and I'm also gonna go ahead and do it up like this. Okay, making sure that this part here matches up. Okay, I think I need to shift this a little bit so I can get more space at the side. Okay, like this. Okay, now I want you to go ahead and draw a start point. This is the center line. The center line, we're going to draw a start point. You can draw a start point. You can draw that line straight downward. So I'm going to use that line as my guide. Just draw the center line right there. Now, let me remember that I didn't even cut this as open as this other one. Don't mind my coconut head is showing. Okay, now I have my center line, right? From that center line, this is where we're going to be working on more interesting part. This is the center line. From this center line, so this is the center line. I want to pull it up so you can be able to see what I am working on. Okay, so this is it, the center line. From this center line, what you're going to do is you're going to add what you can go ahead and add. You can do 7 inch here, you can do 5 inch, you can do 6 inch, you can do 7, you can do 8 inch. The more allowance you leave here at this downer pass, the more fuller is going to become at the hem. But remember, you're supposed to cut these two pieces. Don't make it too much. Okay, I will advise you can do, let's just say 5 inch. Well, yeah, I'm going to do 5 inch right there, 5 inch. I'm also going to come here like this and I'm going to do 5 inch, 5 inch right there. Or I do 4.5 inch so I can have some space at that side to add on my lawns. I'm going to do 4.5 inch right there. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it up here. My 4.5 inch should be here, 4.5 inch, which is right there, and mark this point of 4.5 inch. Okay, now I'm going to glue this up. My 4.5 inch. You can do this up like this. I'm holding it up here so it should not move. Bring this up. My 4.5 inch to that my 4.5 inch, which is right there. Just making sure that I get exactly that 4.5 inch. 1.5 inch, which is right there. You say you have magic into your own hands. Sit down and play with it. So I'm also going to come here and mark that 4.5 inch. If you can check, see whatever I have here is almost matching up. It's almost matching up. So I'm going to bring this up. And like I said, the more you spray, the more fuller it is at the downer part. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna come here and bring it all the way to that 4.5 inch, which is right there. You see what I have there? Now, you see the way everything is just moving as perfect as we wanted, right? Now, you can go ahead and draw a start point from a straight line, not a start point. A straight line from this point, this part to this part. You see? That's a straight line. You can see right there, right? Can you see? Can you see the magic? The magic you use into your own hand. Anyway, let's not talk too much. Yes, a lot of you saying that, why is she making too much noise? So here, you can go ahead and do 1 inch. Yeah, let me do 1 inch. Ooh. So here I'm gonna do 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. All the way to the side, 1 inch. Then when I do, try to connect those points up together. Remember, know that there are some points that they cannot be the same. Just go ahead and take your time, do it up, connect that up. You can see the way I'm going about that. This way, you're going to make sure that the length is going to come out really good. I'm taking my time. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. Where are you? I'm blending this up because I don't like the way everything is looking. Right? This point is just gonna do a straight line from here to this point, from this point to this point, and also gonna do the same thing, straight line from this point to this point. Now it's cutting time. You're almost done. Thank you. You're welcome, my dear. I'm gonna just get this back up. Okay. I'm gonna come here. Here we have the front. It's beautiful. You see, this is the front. It's very beautiful. I love it when I'm making my pattern like this. You really take your time and do your things. Okay. Grab the other paper. This other one. We do the back now. We're still going to go ahead and split it up the same. The same. First of all, let me go ahead and try to wrap. Okay. Oh, remember something, that the back is kind of a little bit longer. Normally we did spray it up by 9 inch. Okay, we have 9 inch here, so no, we have 9 inch, but the side seems it's not looking good. So let's see this way. Let's see what we have here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. Remember that the back was kind of slightly. We added some inches. That's why it's kind of bigger than the front. Okay, now I'm gonna just somewhere and hold this up. Open this again a little bit. Okay, now spray this up and do this up. But before we do so, we need to get the center line. You can go ahead, and there's no need for me to get the center line because you already know that to get the center line, you just need to measure up whatever I have here and divide it by 2. Okay, but at the front, we already have the center line because remember that it came straight down. Let me draw a center line here to avoid wahala. Not avoiding wahala, not to confuse you people. So that's our center line. That center line we're gonna do straight, right? So that you people will kind of understand it better. So now we have drawn a center line. It's still the same thing. Like I said, the more allowance you add here at the downer part, the more you spray, the more fuller it is. So we're going to go ahead now. Make sure that I mark that 4 was 4.5 inch, right? I'm going to mark 4.5 inch. Come here and do my 4.5 inch right there. Mark that point up, which is right there. From my center line, I'm also going to do 4.5 inch right there from my center line, which is right there, making sure that I have everything good and nice. So I'm going to come here. All right. Now that I'm done doing so, just we're going to go ahead and quickly fold this over, wrap it up with a hemming gum. This, it's not a hemming, it's not a paper gum. I always say hemming gum. Oh my goodness, Anita. So I'm going to use my paper gum. And bring it all the way to that 4 inch. This paper gum is always very good for you. It's good for everyone. Right, so I'm going to still do the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead, close this up, and bring it up to that 4.5 inch, which is right there. And if you check here, this point here is almost the same, right? You see? Now, remember what we did for the front was to go ahead, we draw a straight line from here to here. You see? Just to be sure that everything is coming out well. Good evening, ma'am, please. I will read your comment later because I will later respond to your comment later. So here I'm going to do 1 inch, 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 1 inch. See what I've just done? 1 inch. Now after marking those 1 inch, we'll go ahead now and connect those strands up together. First of all, I'm going to come here like this and do this up straight line, and do this other part too, straight line. Oh, so I mistakenly that gum is there. So now you can use this one, you can use the other ruler, just making sure we connect all those 1 inch up together. I'm making sure that when you're connecting it, nothing is looking funny. Nothing should be looking funny around there. Right? Just take your time. If you're tired, don't do pattern. Don't sew or blend it up if you need. Blend this other part up because it's looking funny. You don't work when you're tired, okay? You see, we have the back. Now, we have the back ready. And the front, the only thing we have to do now is to do our waistband. And we have our 2 beautiful pieces done. 2 beautiful pieces. So, to do the waistband, you'll take round waist. Then I just go ahead and do this one. Round waist, whatever you have, round waist. I'm going to be cutting this up in a quarter of the round waist, okay? So I'm going to draw a straight line. This is about 2 inch from my next sticking that. Not 2 inch, yeah, almost 2 inch, but not 2 inch. So are you running? And okay, we have this is it. So I need to make sure that this is matching up. So you know that when you cut 1/4 of this, even though I still need to add up some allowance, you'll be needing to, I did not mention this part, okay. Now when you cut your waist like this, this is 1/4, this is half of your waist. You're cutting this part here on fold here, okay? Don't make that mistake. Cut it on fold here, so that by the time you cut the whole thing here like this, cut it on fold here. All right, so that by the time you cut it, you're going to have round waist. So this is it. This is it right there. Ooh, this is my round. This is the back. Cutting this back times 2. Don't make that mistake. Cut the back times 2 like this, fold. And you're also going to go ahead and cut the front times 2. So I hope that this tutorial was very helpful to you. Okay, everything matches up. You want to make sure that the sides of it match up, okay? the sides matches up. All right. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful to you. I'm trying to straighten up because I need to. I'll be taking a screenshot of it. I have to take a picture of it, so it needs to be straight. I don't want to go ahead and iron. Okay, so I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. And don't forget to follow Anita Handmade Creation, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Thank you so much for watching. Don't mind my coconut head. See, I'm on low cut. They say I'm on low cut. Let me just be on low cut. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you some other time. Good night to you all. Bye bye. Let me come and screen. Take a picture of this. I'll be posting it. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Finish. Good. I finish here. No, my eyes are swelling already. I need to sleep already. Thank you.